Well, I want to thank the gentleman from Arizona for sponsoring this time to talk about the importance of having cut, cap, and balance. This is an historic vote that we're going to be taking in the House tomorrow, and I think that it's critical that we have a solution that will get our fiscal house in order. Very few of the other people that are negotiating with the House leadership, I'm talking about the Senate Democratic leadership, the White House, they're very short on having specific plans. I haven't really seen anything in writing, in fact. I'd love to see something in writing so we could actually do a financial analysis, a fiscal analysis of one of the other plans. But this is a way forward that many of us are looking forward to voting for tomorrow here on the floor. And as you've been describing it, Representative Franks and Mr. Bilbray of California, the elements of this plan are really wonderful for the fiscal health and the financial future and the prosperity of our country. America is a great country, and I don't want to see her go into decline. And if we don't do something, that is the prospect that we unfortunately have before us. So I look forward to voting to cut the next year's budget by a manageable amount. Sure, there will be some people who say, don't cut this, I'd rather you cut something else. But we have to live within our means, so we're cutting from next year's budget. We're also capping the next 10 years so that instead of the unsustainable 24 or 25% spending of our gross domestic product for the federal government, it's going to be brought down to about 20% or under 20%. That is important for the living within our means. Historically, post-World War II, the revenues of the federal government have been about 18%. Nowhere near the 24 or 25%. Even 19.9% that this calls for after like year 6 or 7 is still higher than our revenues, but it's on a glide path. It's on a trajectory that gets toward balance. And the best thing of all is a balanced budget amendment. And this is something that the minute should it pass the House and Senate and go to the states, and should the 3/4 of the states, 38 of them, pass it in their own legislatures and it becomes part of the U.S. Constitution, at that moment we will live under a balanced budget, whether that's 4 years or 8 years or 12 or whatever long that would take. So this has a short-term, a medium-term, and a long-term solution for the fiscal health of our country. Now, if others say, well, I don't like that plan, I'm going to vote against it, I'd like to see their plan. The status quo is simply unacceptable. We are headed toward a Greece-type default and bankruptcy, and we just simply do not need to do that. So we have to reduce our spending. Representative Frank, you know this as well as I do. I have watched and respect your voting record, and you're one for holding the line on extraneous spending. And that's what it takes. Every family has to do it. Every business has to do it. Every individual has to do it. When your income is not as much as your outgo, you have to reprioritize. You have to stop spending as much as you want to, and you have to live within your means. Everyone else has to. Every other government in the country has to do that. Cities, states, counties, they all have to do it. The federal government is, for some reason, the only one that's exempt from these normal laws of fiscal, the fiscal laws of nature. So we have this historic vote tomorrow. I'm really looking forward to voting to cut, cap, and balance our nation's finances. And Representative Franks, I'm so glad that you are sponsoring this time so that we can discuss this important issue. And I yield back to the gentleman.